Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Footy with Chudy. I'm your host, Chudy. I'm here today again with my Man U panel, Aminu and Kachi. We're here to talk about the Champions League and Europa draw because we're Man U fans. Obviously, we have to talk a little bit about Europa. But one can argue that the Europa draw could be possibly more exciting than the Champions League draw because Man U got Barcelona. This is the European Premier competition. Aminu predicted this, so I'm going to start with him before we go into the Champions League. How are you feeling about this? And I think actually, I'll let you continue to say how you're feeling about this. How are you feeling about this draw?
Well, I knew that once we didn't finish first, we had to brace ourselves for that we would be possibly drawing a strong team. And there were two teams that, I was saying I was wary of, Barca and Ajax. But now that we've gotten Barca, I say bring it on because, Barca hasn't been that impressive this season. And the game itself is going to be in February, after the World Cup. Like, so many things could have happened between now and then. So many new players, who even knows? Some of their players might be our players by then.
Shout out to Frankie.
With the crisis that they will inevitably go through without any more levers to pull, I assume. So I'm still cautiously
Optimistic?
Cautiously confident that we can still win that tie because, if they couldn't beat an Inter team, I'd like to think that, a fully fit and healthy Man U team is better than that Inter team that was in their group.
Kachi, how do you feel? Can you bring us down to earth, please?
I think for me, a lot of it will have to do who comes back from the World Cup from both teams. But I think also Man U's January signing has to be very pivotal. Like, we need a striker, we need at least one midfielder, and I think we need a centre back. Like, I think if we do good business, at least if we just get a striker for the January transfer window, I think I will actually go into this tie confident. I think with Barcelona, really, the main person you have to just mark is Lewandowski and then stop any threat from Dembele. And you've pretty much stifled this team. So I think for me, and Barcelona will always leak goals. Now they don't even have PK anymore, so it's all these their young bros they have in there. So I think
it was kind of holding them back, though. To be fair,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't have PK anymore, so now it's all these other guys that I don't even know who their names are. Except the only way they can beat us is except Lewandowski goes crazy or Ter Stegen has one of those games where he saves everything that we shoot at him. But aside from that, I'm actually very confident for that time. But I think there are a lot of variables that are still in play. But I just think it's just poetic that of all the easy teams they could have given Man U, they could have given Man U Midtjylland or Nantes or some of these shitty teams that they would have used to just brush up. They go and give us Barcelona, but I guess Europa League needs viewership. They need to obviously with these games they need some ratings. But I think for me, aside from the Man U Barcelona game, for me, the team I will not be shocked if they lose is Juventus. I won't be shocked if Juventus lose to Nantes because I think Allegri has reached it. Allegri has reached a new low.
You can't say that.
Juve this weekend.
You can't say that. They beat Inter.
Yeah. Not with Inter, and that's what I'm saying. Inter is not that special.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's one game. Have you seen where they are in the table? Juventus,
I think they're fourth now, no? They're fourth
no,
without win.
They are fifth, I think.
But this is a team that were champions 2 years ago. So I think... But yeah,
Nantes can't beat them, man. I don't even know one player in Nantes.
So the Man U game will be interesting. And obviously, I believe Mourinho will do his specialty against Salzburg as well. I expect Roma to come out of that tie as well. I know Salzburg is a very attacking team, but Mourinho and his guys, don't worry. Mourinho, they'll come out good.
I low-key think that he wanted to go back to the conference because this competition is hot. Do you feel like Arsenal is going to just win this at the end of the day?
Arsenal? For leave Arsenal.
Or do you think they're going to focus on the Premier League?
No, leave Arsenal. Arsenal are just polishing up the Premier League and polishing up the top spot for City. They're just polishing the Premier League for City. Let us come back.
They're keeping it warm.
They're keeping it warm. They are basically caretaker, like a caretaker. They are gate men. Basically, they are keeping it warm. Once you come back from World Cup, Haaland fresh, 3 weeks off. It is not going to the World Cup. Don't worry. Leave Arsenal. Arsenal are struggling to score goals now. We know in January they'll go and start. They will be trying to budget to sign a maybe £2 or £3 million striker. That's Arsenal for you. We know they're struggling for goals right now. Wait till when they come back for World Cup. Probably Saka and a few of their big guys are injured. So I think with Arsenal, don't worry. Don't worry about them. Like top four, I can see them if they continue making top four. But to win the league, nah, too early. We're still only 13 games in.
Well, top four is definitely guaranteed for Arsenal. If they don't make top four, then that would be like one of the biggest choke jobs.
Not one of the biggest choke jobs
in recent memory, and I'm here for it. I hope that happens. That would be so entertaining to see. But I think some injuries would have to happen for that, for things to turn against them like that.
Somebody said if Arsenal doesn't win the Premier League, like their fans have been shouting, like Twitter will be closed that day because the banter that is waiting for Arsenal. If they don't win the league, number one, and if they don't now come top four, like I think their fans will actually have to leave social media because it will be bad.
No, they have to make top four because right now people are saying that they have like this current Arsenal team has more points than the Invincibles at this stage. You can't be this far ahead of the game and miss top four. No, you just can't. It's not allowed. You just can't. Let's switch over to the Champions League. I'm sorry?
I'm just the final point. I'm just laughing because it just reminds me of the guy that knows how to run 100 meters and he goes and runs a marathon. And he thinks the marathon is a 100-meter sprint. He starts off running as soon as the gun goes off. And then all of a sudden, 100 meters into the race, my guy is like, he can't even catch his breath. All the guys that were jogging are just like...
Passing him by.
That's what to be like for Arsenal if they don't come top four.
No, that can't happen. Let's switch over to Champions League for a second. Let's go through all the games quickly. I know it's February. That's going to happen. A lot of things can happen between now and then. But for the majority, we should be able to call who's going to qualify from these games. City got an easy draw again. Leipzig. Do you think that Leipzig can possibly do anything to City at all?
No money.
Injuries, nothing. Nothing. Nkunku, nothing. Nothing's gonna happen. Timo coming back to England, nothing.
We're talking about consolation goals at this point in time, but there's no chance for Leipzig
at all. Kachi?
I think obviously I could see Leipzig making one of the games interesting, maybe like a 3-2 or a 3-1, but no, City should steamroll them easy because Leipzig doesn't have good defense. Let's be honest. Once you just stifle Nkunku and Havertz, it's over. Whereas Timo Werner. Whereas
Timo will lock himself up.
Exactly. And then for City, I'm talking about Gundogan, Silva, Haaland. Like, who do you want to mark out of their front six?
He didn't even call their daddy, De Bruyne.
There's even Julian Alvarez coming off the bench. Like, man, like the options are too many. So, like, it's an easy City win for sure.
Okay. Let's move on to a replay of the finals. Liverpool versus Real Madrid. This is a tasty one. Let's see. What are your predictions for this one? How are you feeling?
I think this one is funny because I forgot who said it on ESPN that maybe Real Madrid should get Ramos back on loan just for that, just to scare the Liverpool players and Salah. That one it's actually pretty tough to call because again, Liverpool, we don't know what they'll look like in February. Like they might be struggling next week.
This guy's
exactly, but in February, like with the January window, hopefully. But this one that FSG has put up Liverpool for sale now. Maybe the bro is hurting for some money, man. So they won't be making any signings in January. But at the same time, they still have a pretty good team, and it will be an interesting match. I think Real Madrid will just edge it again. They just have that winner's mentality. Despite their loss today, I think they have a good chance of still getting through.
Kachi.
The thing is, my head tells me to go Madrid, but I just have a funny feeling that I think Liverpool with Firmino not going to the World Cup, Salah not going to the World Cup, I honestly think their forwards will be prime and wanting to prove a point. So I actually think if this game was probably in like April, I would pick Madrid because Madrid peaks around that March, April time. But I just think Liverpool might sneak it here and win a close one.
Something very funny about Real Madrid. I don't really classify them as good, but they just keep winning. I think they do the fundamentals very, very well. They don't
as elite. They are good, but they're just funny. They're not elite, but they have
That's
winners mentality, man. Winners pedigree. I think that's what's really going. They have a never die say attitude. So yeah, the tie can go either way for me.
Napoli, Frankfurt. I like this draw for Napoli. I think Napoli is everybody's secret second team.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness, they can't bottle this, can they? Against the current reigning Europa champions, and I don't know how Frankfurt actually snuck their way into this because it was Sporting prime. Like these guys always.
That was a choke job, man. I mean, the other thing about that is the one team that could have given Ronaldo an escape hatch in January and now in Europa too. So the bro is not even going to want to go there.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it was for half his wages, right? So that was just hilarious.
But Napoli, easy win. Should be easy win.
I see it as a high-scoring game. I see this like both ties will be high-scoring, very attacking. There's this guy in Frankfurt, Kamada. I think he's Japanese. He's a very good, good player. Yeah. I actually rate that, bro. He low-key reminds me of Park Ji-sung, like the energy the guy has. He reminds
it's funny
me of Park
you mentioned him. Every time I watch a Frankfurt highlight, he's the one that scores. He, man.
Yeah.
He's always the one that's scoring. He's literally the only person I know on that team.
Yeah. I actually like the guy's energy. So I think for me, like Napoli should win. Osimhen should score. And what's the name of that guy? I can never pronounce his name. Is it Kalishina?
Just call him
Maradona.
That guy needs to be tested for drugs. Like, man, he has been balling this year. He has been balling for sure.
But hopefully
he's injured
right
now.
then. Yeah.
So,
but he didn't play on the weekend.
I think Napoli should. Except if they monumental like fall off, but I see them easily. It should be an easy win for them.
Do you think there's a chance that they'll try to concentrate on winning Serie A instead of the Champions League, and they'll be like, we can't win this in any way. So why? To me,
that would be stupid. It's too early to concentrate. I think in February? You still want to take it game by game. To me, it's still the reason I say that is you want to still take it game by game is because there will be a lot of unknowns between February and when there's their league and May. There's still a lot of games to play, right? So for me, if I'm them, you can go out of all the Italian Cup competitions, forget all those ones, and if you want to focus on the league and focus on Champions League.
Go on. Did you have anything to say on this one?
Who won Serie A last season? Oh, was it Milan?
AC
Milan,
okay. Okay, then they're now winning it.
And the season before was
Inter.
Conte's Inter. That's what put a caveat on that. Speaking of Conte's Inter Milan versus Porto. This could be a tricky one for Inter Milan. A lot of people don't see Porto doing what they did. I'll have a question for you guys. Was it a case of Porto being good or Atletico just being horrible? Like, what is going on?
Atletico is bad this season.
Atletico is a bad team.
But they're third in the league, comfortably.
Not comfortably. That's not the.
They're tied for fourth.
See,
but they're third
in Spanish league,
Champions League.
No, go ahead.
In the Champions League, they've been very, very poor. I mean, they didn't even make Europa. That's how bad they played. But La Liga is just weird this season because we were talking about Barcelona crisis, but now they're top of La Liga because Real Madrid lost. So. Realistically speaking, Atletico could still go on and win La Liga, even though they've been really poor. And that's why, again, I say Barcelona is not that impressive, even though they are top of La Liga. That just shows you that something is going on in La Liga this season. Maybe Real Madrid still comes and wins it in the end, but it is definitely strange. So, I think it was definitely a case of Atletico Madrid being really bad.
So you think
So
Inter should win this easily or
I
not?
think Inter is just a little bit better than Porto. I think both of them are not. I think other teams would have loved to draw Inter and Porto, but
Mm-hmm,
now they are. It's like one of those draws where a weaker team gets to go to the next round, and then
mm-hmm.
everybody is hoping and praying that that's who they get.
Baby,
So
come through.
it may go either way, but I would say Inter just edges it as well.
Catching.
I don't know. Something weird just tells me Inter will just do their perennial choke jobs and Porto will beat them. I just have that feeling. Like Inter, since Mourinho's Inter, like I never trust Inter Milan with any other manager. So I think for me with Inter, it depends. Like Lukaku, obviously they need Lukaku back. They need to try and reforge that Lukaku Martinez partnership somehow, and with Dzeko and everybody. But I pick, for some weird reason, I pick Porto to go through in this
On
fight,
track,
and a close one.
on track of your predictions being right, Club Brugge, was it you or Skip who predicted that Club Brugge would surprise everybody in the league? I've forgotten.
I
Club
think it
Brugge
was.
versus...
I think it was. I think it might have been Skip.
Okay, Club Brugge versus Benfica. This should be an easy one for Benfica, right? I'll be honest, I didn't really watch any game for Club Brugge's group. I watched the highlights, but I didn't watch any of their games. But they were very impressive in the group stages. Do you think they can do anything against Benfica?
I doubt it, but that tie has the potential to have very high scoring games. Like both of them attack a lot. Benfica obviously probably has a better defense, so I would
Yes.
say Benfica will probably win that tie easily because of their defensive players. Whereas Bruges,
But it was I think Club Brugge for the first 3 games they had not considered a goal in their group stage. They didn't consider a goal for the first 3 games. They won all their games by clean sheets.
wow,
So they might have a good defense. So, but as I said, I don't really know too much about them. I just watch their highlights, right? So, yeah. So it could be tight. It could be tight.
that one could be tight. But based on what Benfica did that last game, where everyone thought PSG were going to top the group, all of them were probably thinking, we've won this game, we're top, and then they go into the locker room and they're like, Benfica scored 6. They needed to win that last game by a
5.
4-goal margin.
5.
No, 4.
Oh, I thought it was 5.
No, because they had to best PSG's results by
Okay.
4 goals. Right?
Okay.
So PSG won 2-1, right, or something.
Yeah,
So they
2-1.
had one goal on their end, and then they had to win 6. Oh, it was. So they won
6-1.
6.
They won
6-1,
6-1.
yes.
Yeah.
6-1, yeah.
Yeah.
So they needed a 5-goal difference.
They
Sure,
needed the
it's
5-goal difference, yeah.
And
So
in the
it's crazy that they got
60th
it.
minute, it was just 2-1. They had not. It was just 2-1 in the 60th minute. They literally it was crazy. It feels like João Mario has been playing forever. I feel like every time I watch Benfica over the years, I just see him there. He's Portuguese, I believe, right? So I think he should go to the World Cup and do his thing. Kachi, what do you think about that tie?
This is the Benfica club. Like, no, Benfica,
Yes.
let's be serious now. Benfica should turn these guys over easily. Like, he shouldn't. We're at the serious end of the thing now. Like, Benfica should turn these guys over. If they play what they are playing in their Portuguese league, they should easily turn these Club Brugge guys over. And I won't be surprised if Benfica get raided in January. This one, they are performing well, and we know they're a selling club. And we know Premier League teams will be hunting for untapped gems. And Benfica will probably be calling 50. They'll be calling 50 and 40 million for average guys. So, but I still expect them. They have enough talent to be able to beat Club Brugge for sure. So for me, Benfica, I'll pick Benfica.
Look out for Enzo, and I believe their star boy defender is Antonio Silva, 18-year-old Giants. And look, I think this is the tie that Aminu is looking forward to the most: AC Milan versus Tottenham Hotspurs. What do you think is going to happen? I'm going to start with Kachi, since this guy's already licking his lips. He wants to talk about some Tottenham victories. I know you love Conte. Let's just calm down there. Kachi, give us a non-biased opinion on this.
I actually think for me, if the game was to be played tomorrow, I pick AC Milan. But I think Tottenham needs to go and buy a creative midfielder ASAP. If Tottenham gets a creative midfielder and they still play in the Conte way, it will give them a major outlet. But the problem is when they counter attack now, literally everybody knows where it's going. It's going to Kane or
Kane has to drop.
Kane has to drop, and that's their problem. And that's their problem. But if Tottenham doesn't sign anybody and the players go, like I could see Rafael Leao tearing apart Eric Dyer. I could also see Giroud as well. Giroud will be motivated knowing that this Tottenham, right? Because he's still an Arsenal boy through and through in his blood. So the guy, like I could, if nothing changes with the two respective squads, I expect Milan to win. I won't say comfortably, but a high scoring win. In the sense that I could see Tottenham. I could honestly see Tottenham conceding 2 goals at home while parking the bus in the first half and then trying to attack. They'll
win the second half. They're a second half team, man. That's what we do.
Exactly.
Aminu.
They're a vibes team. Once they are losing, there's no, they throw out the game plan out the window and then they just attack. So I think actually an Italian team is a more suitable matchup for Conte. Because the way he likes to play, it resonates well with the way Italian teams like to play. They're not particularly fast-paced teams. They are more tactical, right? And the fact that, he does, hopefully Son will be back by then. Because right now, if Son is in, I don't know, because they said he had surgery.
Yeah, I think he injured like his eye socket, so he had surgery.
So it wasn't like a
foot,
knee
no.
or
No.
Okay, so he's back.
So he's not going to the World Cup.
He should be back on the World Cup. He should be back because he might play against Leeds. Even He said he might play against Leeds because he just had surgery on his eye, so he might be back with a mask.
He's gonna have a mask.
Yeah.
Do his Osimhen impression.
Vibes.
Yeah, I think it will be a tight one. This one is tight, but I can't pick Conte for anything just because Tottenham this season they've been inconsistent, not just from game to game, but within the game. Like the Tottenham in the first half, and the Spurs in the second. It's like Tottenham first half, Spurs second half. So like they're a schizophrenic team. So for me, like I don't know what I'm gonna get out of Spurs. So I will say AC Milan will win that tie.
AC Milan should win this comfortably. Rafael Leao. I don't see. Then again,
AC Milan doesn't have any player on the level of Son. They don't have any player on the level of Kane.
Rafael is basically their son. Basically,
But he's not on the same level. That's what I'm saying. They don't have anybody on the level of Son. They don't have anyone on Kane's level. Do they have like a Bissouma level type player?
No, they don't.
They do. Tonali.
Yeah, but to me, the problem with Tottenham is all these are packing. You pack balls when you can defend. You can't defend. Play. Like it's actually
annoying. I've never seen a team that puts 5 at the back and still concede this many goals. It's crazy.
Bro, man,
even Mourinho is probably watching them and saying, "See, guy, if you want, I can come and give you guys a tutorial on how to do."
It's the players. Don't hate the coaches.
Disrespecting my playbook.
The quality of the players. Oh my God! Let's move on to Dortmund Chelsea. This might be an interesting one. I've been nagging Skip about how boring Chelsea has been. This guy's just bored me to tears, man. What do you think their problem is? Do you think it's the injuries? Do you think it's the time to adapt to his style of play? Like, what is it? And also, do you think they're going to win the game?
I think with Chelsea, I still don't see what Graham Potter is doing. Like, I still don't see. Like, this is probably the first time in a long time that I've seen where an Arsenal team will come to Chelsea and Chelsea were literally pinned in. They couldn't get out. And I'm like, what are these guys doing? It's not like their squad is actually bad. It's not a bad squad.
But I think remember what you said in the chat. It's the midfield. Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek. Bro, they don't have a midfield, man. So no matter who is in the rest of the team.
If Chelsea are saying they don't have a midfield, what do we have? We don't have anybody. Chelsea has players. So I'm sorry. Chelsea, we know Loftus-Cheek is bad. that guy might as well be a model for Adidas or whoever they are. Who is Chelsea sponsor? Like for their sponsor, Loftus-Cheek to me should not be playing or starting for Chelsea. There are other bros you can put in there. Chalobah can even be put in midfield. Like Chelsea has players that they can move around, right? So to me, I'm not
from loan and all this.
Exactly. I'm never going to buy the excuse that Chelsea does not have players in midfield. Of all places, midfield, no, right? So for me, I still think Graham Potter needs to. I think for him, with the World Cup is coming at the right time for him to like figure out his squad and everything, and know what he's going to do. Especially know what he's going to do with Aubameyang or know what he's going to do with Sterling. But I think if he gets his act together,
Sterling, man.
If he gets his act together, Dortmund will always concede goals. But also Dortmund will also score you. Like Dortmund has the Bellingham and those guys. So I think if Chelsea get their midfield together, they should get through this time. They are lucky it's BVB that they got and not like another really hard team. So I think for me, Chelsea should go through. That's if they get their act together and put their affairs in order and how they want to play.
What's wrong with Cucurella? And is there I'm beginning to see a trend with players that Man City wanted to sign, but they're like, nah. When another team signs that player is always very, very bad.
Who did they want to sign that?
Cucurella. They wanted to sign Cucurella.
No. Who else did they try to sign?
Go look at our squads. Fred. They wanted to sign Fred. They wanted to sign Maguire. Bro.
Fred starts for Brazil. Maguire starts for England.
Stop it.
I can go on and on. No, the thing is, what would work in the City system, the way they play and how they dominate most of the time, is not going to work for another team, right? If you put Trent now in that City team, oh my goodness. People will be saying, oh, he's the best right back in the world. Because he's barely going to have any time to do any defending. He will be on the other end of the pitch most of the time, right? So I think that is why, it's not like Barca copying all the transfers from Chelsea and then signing all those players. If you copy City's players or their transfer
targets,
or their targets, it won't work for your own team unless you play the way they play. To me, the more important thing is I don't understand what happened to Graham Potter since he got there. Like, did he play back five at Brighton? Did he?
I want to say
yes. He started back five, and then once the thing started falling apart, he changed to I think back three or back four.
No, at Chelsea or at Brighton.
He had to have been back five because
in the game between Chelsea, I think
back,
Chelsea versus. In the game Chelsea versus Brighton.
No. He's asking when he was a Brighton manager, did he play back five or back four?
He used to change. He used to do some games. He would do back five. Some games he would do four.
Because for me, it's just astonishing. Like they don't look anything. They don't look anything like how Brighton used to be. Like they don't look anywhere close to that. And we can be like, oh, he doesn't have the right players. But are you saying like the players at Chelsea now are not better than the players he left at Brighton? Look at what the Brighton manager is doing there now. It's about
systems,
Eddie Howe is doing in Newcastle. Like there are managers that have gone into new situations and they're thriving. So I'm surprised at how badly the Chelsea in particular are playing right now, especially with a manager like Potter. If it was Conte or Mourinho or somebody like that.
Can you stop this disrespect Chelsea, before I hang up on you?
I would understand. Like, okay, yeah, you brought a Park the Boss merchant and it's hard to adjust to that. But you brought an expansive manager.
Wins titles, but on a serious note though, Havertz is giving me Pogba vibes, which is like, if you ask anybody, he's easily the most talented person on this pitch, but bro, you're just invisible there. Like, what are you actually doing? You're not doing anything. Then Sterling, I feel like nobody knows what to do with Sterling. They put him on left wing back, they put him on right left wing, they put him as striker. What is going on there? Aubameyang, that one, the planning for him was just ridiculous from the start because you brought him because he has a connection with Tuchel, then you fire Tuchel. That one doesn't make any sense. Zakaria, that is supposed to be the next Conte, he's giving me Donny vibes. This guy he never plays, and everybody is saying his shit. I don't understand. Why are you saying somebody who never plays this shit? We've never even seen this bro play. The one time he played, he scored. I think he scored in the Champions League, but he never plays. He cannot be as bad as Loftus-Cheek and Jorginho. Like, what is going on? So there's just a lot of confusion. I think Skip has
Loftus-Cheek is a model. Loftus-Cheek is a model. He's not a footballer. Like, seriously. No, Loftus-Cheek is bad. Like,
I saw Odegaard skinning him. I told you I was going to watch him closely in that game because of what you said about him. Odegaard dealt with him in that game. So yeah, finally the biggest match of them all. PSG, man. Champions League hopes slapped.
Down the drain.
Yeah. What if they put
no.
We can't even spin this one because now they are going to be found out. That's the way I see it. They are not. The only thing that might save them is if they change their shape, play exclusively on the counter, but drop one of Neymar or Messi. That is crazy to even think that
they will not do that. They will not do that.
Because one, Neymar is playing his best football for PSG right now. And Messi has sort of found his form back again. Yeah. People are like, yo, Messi's back to his best. Is he the best player in the world? And blah, blah, blah. You know, Mbappe is doing well, although I feel like he should be a lot more clinical. Like, he scores goals, but he misses good chances as well. So, for me, it's going to be, they'll lose this tie on the defensive end. Their defense is terrible, man. Their defense is just not. I thought Ramos going there will help shore things up, but nah, man. Their captain that is injured, what's that his name?
Marquinhos.
Is
he injured?
But he was injured for a while. I don't know if he's
because he got a call. He got the call up for Brazil. Did they call him up injured?
Pogba would have gotten the call up unless he told them that, bro, I can't make it.
I just had surgery.
yeah, basically, Pogba was going for France until he was like, nah, I had surgery, right? So, Marquinhos bad. The other guy, Kimpembe.
Kimpembe is not good. Kimpembe is not good.
Who else? Who else is in that midfield next to
Verratti?
Verratti is in midfield. Defense. The right back is all right.
Hakimi.
I think Hakimi. I think he's more attacking. I think he's more like a Trent type of right back as well. So their defense is so shaky. I think they'll be found out against Bayern. Like, even if they are able to score, they won't be able to keep Bayern out. So for me, their Champions League hopes up in smoke. Just like
are we now scared of Choupo-Moting? Like, what's going on?
Choupo-Moting is banging these goals this season.
I know, but I'm like,
it's not Choupo-Moting I'm scared of. Leroy Sané had some excellent performances in Champions League. Leroy Sané and Mane, those two guys, they can cut in. Leroy Sané can cut in from the right, use his left foot, punish their goalie. Mane can come in, punish them. Choupo-Moting is even there. You've even forgotten about Muller. Muller hasn't really played much as well this season. You know that's the kind of game Muller will be ginger to play.
He just appears.
No, these guys have ballers.
Musiala as well.
And then they have their manager, Julian Lagos, man. That guy is another tactical guy. Believe you me, like, PSG will have to play defense in this game. Their forwards have to track back, which we know they won't want to do. And that's where they will punish them.
They can't, even if they wanted to. So, forget. You can't have three guys that don't track back ever.
Ever.
A team like Bayern, that might happen that might work in the French league, and even in the French league, they're winning games.
They concede
4-3, 3-2. So it's not like they're even keeping clean sheets, even in Ligue 1. By the time they face Bayern is going to hang 6 goals, 4 to 6 goals on them for sure.
I'm serious. So, like,
these
are the kind of games. These are the kind of games Bayern wake up for. And that's another thing we've not considered. Also, we know Neymar gets his mid-season injury. Watch how maybe Neymar comes back from World Cup injured.
Like, I'm tired.
Then you already know.
Tired.
Then you already know it's a write-off. Like, because Messi ain't gonna track back, and Mbappe we know don't track back. So you are just playing. You are starting the game already. Just subtract those 3 guys from your defensive responsibility. So,
I suspect he will probably bench Neymar for Neymar will come off the bench in those games.
So you guys are
I
giving these
suspect
guys
that's
no
what
chance.
he's gonna do. I chose PSG at the start of the season, but after seeing that defense, nah, man, their defense is just too bad for me to die on that hill.
My pick is still going strong. Man City, Man City. Man City, Man City. They're winning everything.
I can't pick Man City because Pep will find a way to tinker his way out of the Champions League.
Not today. Not today, man. Not today. Not this time. Not this time.
Tinker, man. That's it. Always tinkering with everything.
This is celebration.
You want to tinker it.
We have to come to the end of this episode quickly. This the episode is going to air on Thursday. You guys give me your quick predictions for the Carabao Cup, the one big game and Man U's game. City versus Chelsea on Wednesday. What do you think is going to happen?
To me, City even City Team B should steamroll Chelsea.
No, Team B, relax, man. Without Haaland, these guys couldn't beat Fulham. Okay, they had 10 men, but they struggled with Fulham still. So their Team B cannot be. You can't say their Team B.
They'll beat Chelsea.
With Fulham, Fulham was parking the bus.
Fulham packed their whole fan base.
They got like the red card like in the 20th minute or something like that. The 30th, it was in the first half. So they parked the bus for like, 60 minutes, 70 minutes straight.
Disgusting.
I'm like, nah, man. I don't even understand how they were like a top half team with that performance. But Chelsea, they tend to be a boogie team for City, though. I don't know why, but with the new manager, man, the way they are playing this season, I just don't trust them. So I'll go with a City win.
How about Man U, Aston Villa?
Revenge. Revenge. With a capital R-E.
I honestly think if Unai Emery plays his full squad, which I don't think he will, if he plays his Premier League squad, they'll beat us. If he plays his Team B, Man U will win. That's my only prediction. But if I was to be a betting man, I will bet on Man U a narrow win.
But so Martial is back. Is Anthony?
Bro, I don't know about that, bro. I thought he was injured. I saw a video of him jumping when he got called for the World Cup. So I don't know whether he's injured.
He's World Cup injured.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, Sancho's on it was illness, so he should be back. So yeah, I'm going for revenge. No matter who they play, we're gonna get them back for the travesty from this past weekend.
Bruh. All right. We'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe and like. It helps the channel a lot. Instagram, YouTube, and as always, continue to love football. Right? That's what I always say. All right. Bye-bye.